Well, thank you very much for having me. As a international law professor, I want to focus on the international law implications of both the closing of the Rafah Crossing as well as the unprecedented cutting off of assistance to UNRWA. There's a number of things implicated here, of course. I mean, even before you get to the ICJ case, you have international humanitarian law is represented in such conventions as the Geneva Conventions, the Hague Convention of 1907. All of them require that during war, not only that civilians are off limits for being attacked, that in fact all parties have to take all measures to protect civilians and to ensure that they get the necessities of life, like water, food, medicine. To do the opposite, to cut off these life-saving items, which is what is happening through the measures I've just discussed and others, is without more an international humanitarian law violation. So Egypt's in violation of international humanitarian law by cutting off the Rafah Crossing. Of course, Israel, to the extent they are participating in that is as well. And I would say that all the countries that are cutting off aid to UNRWA are violating international humanitarian law. They should be doing the opposite. They should be taking great efforts to ensure that civilians are protected and get life-saving material. But now, after the ICJ decision, which specifically ordered Israel to take measures, again, as they are required under international humanitarian law, to make sure that the people of Gaza are receiving the things necessary to exist and live, again, water, food, medicine, electricity. The fact that literally within hours, these Western countries, in the face of that decision, decided to cut off aid to UNRWA is just not only despicable from a moral position, but it's in violation of the ICJ decision, which, by the way, all legal experts agree is binding on all parties, not just Israel. Every country has to abide by that. And by the way, every country has to abide by the Genocide Convention. Article 1 makes it clear that all states must do everything in their power to prevent and stop genocides. And again, to then participate in the genocidal campaign by cutting off the main lifeline, and UNRWA is the main lifeline of the Palestinian people in Gaza. To do that during this conflict, again, violates Article 1 of the Genocide Convention, violates the ICJ decision, and violates international humanitarian law. These are all very clear, and I think these are the things we need to say and use to put pressure on the parties to reverse this decision. As you know, UNRWA has announced that if aid is not restored by the end of this month, they will have to end all their activities. I mean, that's an incredible thing. That would not only hurt the people in Gaza, it would hurt the people in the West Bank and in refugee camps in Lebanon, in Syria. So it's a very serious situation. I hope this was helpful, and I do hope someone takes more affirmative measures to reverse these decisions. Thank you.